Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I appreciate you guys and gals being here today. Listen, if you're new to the channel or watching on other platforms, do me a favor and give us a subscribe or follow or whatever. Like the videos and definitely leave me a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on the content we produce here. And those of you who have been here for a while, thank you for being here. That does mean a lot to me. A lot of you guys are Patreons. A lot of you joined into there, and even some people don't even watch it. They're just there to support, and that's fantastic. And I love it, and it is a blessing to me, and to be able to just get in here and do this stuff. So thank you for all for a part of that. I do appreciate it. So today we're going to take a look at some news around Ledger. The reason I want to talk about that is because it has some serious implications around um, everything that we're doing. And then they're actually walking things back too. We'll get to that in a second. Debt ceiling, we're going to talk about that because, well, why not? That's extremely important. And I've got some information y'all will probably really appreciate, I hope. And then towards the end, I just want to show some crazy stuff around Target. Those of you who've been following along with anything that's happening out there, I'm sure you're familiar with it, but I want to provide a little bit of information that is, I think, very pertinent, very prescient to what's going on. So, anyhow, let's jump right into the ledger stuff. Now, before I show you all, I need to show you this. I don't use Ledger or Trezor. I never have, and I never will. Reason being is because, from a technology perspective, being a technologist myself, been in IT for a long time. All my career. Um, I started building computers when parts became freely available to do so. We'll put it that way. Very, very young. So it was very fun for me and all that stuff, fun stuff. But anyhow, I want y'all to understand that when technology is built like that, it has major flaws from a software perspective to protect it from any vulnerabilities. Now, Ledger launched this stuff, as you guys watched in my last show. I hope that I explained how the devices get updated. People are saying they would want to go update it. Well, they're not going to go update the device. Somehow a compromise can be dropped on those people's laptops. All laptops, technically, look, people build botnets. It's not like it's impossible to touch every device. Literally. I'm not kidding. Anyhow, and as soon as the devices get popped in, to update it before it's updated or anything can happen, the private keys and public key is pulled. It's not like it's impossible, y'all. So that being said, there are lots of flaws there. Now, I recognize people enjoy the ledger, and this great thing for some people, and it's a fantastic piece of storage for folks. I think I told you on the last video. I don't remember last show. I don't remember specifically if I said this or not, but I'm gonna say it now. Big Brother wants to access your crypto, and that's why this whole ledger recover was set up. And here's the CEO telling you himself that that is in fact the case.
And that is really possible. 99% of the cases, there is no collusion that is really possible between the three entities. And, the way that this is built, but we've released a lot of content. The way that this is built, you can only, only the user can sort of call back the three shards. The only concern really is if we get subpoena by a government to say now, this user specifically, we would like you to, retrieve the three shards, etc. So that's not a real concern in the end, because for several reasons. One, you only get subpoena like this by governments if it's a serious act, like terrorism, drugs, etc., etc. Like, it's not true that the average person gets subpoenaed every day.
Can I just interrupt there? Coinbase.
I'll go ahead and say this right here, right now. If you arbitrarily said something online or did something you shouldn't do, or some thought police somewhere decided you were not a good person and they wanted to subpoena your information, that would happen. He is in la la land thinking that this is in fact safe and that it's not likely to happen. But the thing is they built this technology, these features for that very scenario. That is why it was fine before. What are you doing it like this? Anyways, let's continue.
Had all their customer data subpoenaed by the
Yes.
IRS.
John Doe.
Yeah, and so they had to supply every customer. Was it over $10,000 or 20,000?
20,000.
20,000
Over a 3-month rolling period.
and they gave all.
And
their
Coinbase
data.
fought back because they wanted, I
They
think,
did.
3,000.
But Coinbase is a bank. This is not a banking service. Okay, so it's very different.
But it's what I'm saying is the IRS wanted that information. If something
There is no information for the IRS on this.
Well, you do have XPubs, but you had them before too on Ledger Live, right?
I mean, there is no real information for the IRS on this, etc. And by the way, like, again, there will be trade-offs in the future.
Yeah.
So, like, we're not saying that, if you're uncomfortable with this, you can keep your 24 words and, keep doing what you're doing today. This doesn't change anything, okay? Doesn't change anything, doesn't create a backdoor. We can come back on open source, no open source, but in the end, like, we're a good actor. Like, we don't create backdoors in our user's device. And by the way, if we did, the business goes south very quickly.
It's not open sourced. That's the problem. People can't go look at their source code. Everyone's got to take their word for it. I don't think it's open sourced. I say that I am 95% sure it's not open source. All right, anyhow. Y'all need to understand that is why they built it, specifically so that can happen. That they're being told somewhere, somehow, that this needs to be done. Someone somewhere was coerced or suggested or something to make that happen. Nope. I'm sorry. That is not the actual case. If you're going to create a cold storage, it is designed to be a cold storage. Leave it alone. And the technology is flawed in the first place. If it gets updated, guess how? You plug it into a computer. The application then updates it. It takes, I kid you not, it takes a split second. As soon as the computer recognizes the device, if there is an application on there or something nefarious sitting in the background monitoring for specific ledgers with specific versions of the operating system or the kernel or not kernel program that's running on the device, recognizes those, exploits them, and it takes a second, not even like a half a second, for all information to be gathered and pulled off of the device. How quickly on a Windows device or a Mac or whatever, how quickly does a USB device get recognized once you plug it in? It's instant. It takes that much time for a nefarious application to capture all the information on the device because the computer recognizes everything about the device as soon as it's plugged in. Why can't a nefarious application? So it is flawed in general by utilizing it like that. There are other ways to keep your stuff safe, secure. If you'd like to know, schedule some time with me. Astra Blockchain Consulting. It's in the description of the video. It will for sure be worth your while to safely store your crypto. Think about it as a simple investment from somebody who's been in this since almost the beginning, who has figured out ways and not broadcasted it. I'm not broadcasting it now, to actually safely store your crypto. Anyhow, with all of that, all of the community backlash, there was an public space, I think it was, that really got slammed on these guys for doing this. Ledger key recovery service is paused amid backlash, and they apparently are going to open source their code now. So I was right. Sorry. I had not read this all the way through, and I just went through the main body of the stuff when I started looking through it. Anyhow, Ledger CEO says that the past week has been a humbling experience and apologized for the firm's miscommunication. Miscommunication? No, you're planning on doing something you were told to do by, I don't know, somebody who wants access to everybody's stuff. So Ledger Recovery will be launched as soon as the source code is auditable. So they're not stopping it, they're pausing it. We believe in these amenities to the project and will continue to build the industry together. That isn't what the customers wanted. That's not what's going to happen. It's going to be very easy and clear for every single coin or crypto. I can't speak this morning. I clearly need more coffee. Cryptography and security expert to have a look at the protocol to get more guarantees and understand how it works. No, it doesn't matter how it works. The fact of the matter is that you will allow the keys to be sharded amongst 3 third-party entities that will hold these, and those third parties can all be subpoenaed for a specific account with a specific address with a specific ledger serial number. It's not impossible. There are many ways to not. All right, I think I'm beating a dead horse here. Y'all get the point. It isn't gonna stop. They're going to continue to do this. They're going to open source this stuff. It doesn't take long to open source. You go to your GitHub, you click open source, you go to the main and open source. It's not hard. Anyhow, makes you wonder if they're gonna clean it up before they let everyone see it. So I've never touched Ledger. I never will touch Ledger. I will not touch Trezor either. They've been hacked. Now, you do have to have physical access to, I think, Trezor, but Ledger's been hacked. Guys, gals, there are very safe ways to store your crypto. You don't need... Look, I've been in this since late 2011. No, I did not keep everything I mined, whatever. Mainly because I was looking at the technology. How does this work? Wow, this is going to be a fundamentally changing aspect to the internet. That was my mindset. I was digging through the technology. It wasn't until much later I recognized, this is something we need to pay attention to. There was not a way to even really store your crypto back then. This was just Bitcoin. There was nothing else. There was not a way to just store. You could store it on the master node that you were running if you were running one. And then there were things with Mt. Gox, which I never touched. Now, there were things that came about that made a lot of sense for you to actually go in and create a method to store your crypto. These third-party things, no, you can do it yourself without a third party doing it. Anyways, I will quit beating that horse and move on here. So I want you to understand today we're getting very close. Today is Wednesday. The White House Republicans to talk on the debt ceiling as default risks near. Okay. We are about to default on our national debt. USDebtClock.org. I highly recommend you check it out. $31.8 trillion national debt. That does not include any of the U.S. liabilities. That does not include... wait a minute. U.S. total debt. Why did it just stop? What in the world just happened? Right. That was weird. Okay. Yeah. Total national debt is almost 100 trillion. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. No, it's not. We're not even... You're not even looking at Social Security liability, Medicare liability, U.S. unfunded liabilities, and yeah. So you add that. I need to probably blow that up for y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. So you would add this, add this, add this up. Then you, oh, that's cool. Then you would add this. Guys, we're in for some fun. So, negotiations for Democratic resident flashbang and top congressional Republican Kevin McCarthy. No, he's the Speaker of the House. Anyhow, we're set to reconvene on Wednesday morning, seeking a deal to raise the U.S. United States $31.4 trillion debt ceiling to avoid catastrophic default. Y'all know that Janet Yellen has actually said raise the debt or get rid of the debt ceiling entirely. In other words, give me an unlimited blank check. That's what she has said. Fun stuff. Time is running short for a deal. Yeah. It sure is, as the Treasury Department has warned that the federal government could be unable to pay its bills by as soon as June 1st, just 8 days away. Actually, it's probably going to be by this Friday, and I'll show you why here in a minute. Anyhow, it'll take several days to pass legislation through the narrowly divided Congress. Y'all, we're going to see some crazy stuff. It's going to get very, very messy. The beast has to die. The bank has to die. It will die. Yellen maintains early June as U.S. debt ceiling deadline. Yep. So she is saying that on Wednesday, she said today, maintained early June as a debt ceiling default deadline. I have hiccups, y'all. I'm sorry. And said that she will update Congress shortly about government finances, but not right now. Why not every day? You should be able to look at it. Speaking to the Wall Street Journal forum, Yellen said it is hard to be precise. Really? No, it's not. Is it hard for you to be precise to see how much credit card debt you have? Is it hard for you to see how much you owe on your mortgage or your car note or whatever? I'm not assuming that's out there. Is that really hard for you to figure out? Anyhow, so she's saying how hard it is to precise exactly which day the U.S. government will run short of funds. It will be this Friday, and I'm going to show you in a second. But added that she will try to increase the level of precision on the date based on incoming government receipts. Really? Okay. Y'all know, because I've told you, my regulars have, that the your tax dollars don't go to pay for this stuff. They go to pay the interest on the national debt. That's it. It's not even paying the principal, the interest. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Some private forecasters, including Goldman Sachs and Moody's analysts, have established that a default could come a few days after June 1st, between 6th and the 9th. I think it will be this Friday. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Our 17th friend mentioned something about some sort of banking crisis where they will have to have a banking holiday, where they will have to stop the banks, close them down, blah, blah, blah. You can't go in to deposit, you can't withdraw. Debit cards and credit cards may even stop working because of a banking holiday. Well, we have a long weekend coming up, don't we? Memorial Day is on Monday. We will be in a long weekend, all right? Just a thought. It might actually happen over the 4th of July. Who knows? No one really knows. To put it into perspective, guys, y'all need to know that I think it will probably end up being this Friday. And the reason being is because of the amount that they're spending at any given point. Here's the projected Treasury balance sheet. This was taken on the 22nd, so this was 2 days ago. Yeah, so this was Monday. So this is saying June 1st. Okay? Down to into a negative. Pretty crazy. Treasury, this is the cash balance sheets in millions. Just for everyone to understand. Y'all all see that? U.S. default is possible this Friday. The Treasury only has $60 billion left in its balance sheet. If spending continues at current elevated pace, the balance sheet will be negative $18 billion by Friday. They have significantly spent, right? So we are somewhere in this ballpark. We will end up, it is going to completely collapse. They are spending a ton of money. They only have 60 billion left. By this Friday, they will be negative 18 billion. Unless they just randomly just magically stop spending money. The thing is that this goes to pay for our military, the ammo that they use, the fuel that the everything uses. This goes to pay the salary of Congress. This goes to pay for any national or this is federal related stuff. National parks might close. The park rangers won't get paid, etc., etc. There's stuff like that will not happen. We're not going to pay their pensions, blah, blah, blah. They own the pensions. The pensions are gone. They've been used as poker chips in the stupid stock market. Guys, it's about to get extraordinarily ugly. This is why I've been saying crypto is the exit strategy. Gold, silver, if you can obtain it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply somebody out here who's connecting the dots going, that's the direction things are going. Here's a lifeboat. I'm not telling anyone what to do. Not allowed to. Check the links in the description of the video. But this is where things are heading. The bank's going to die. The bank's going to die because that is the end goal. The whole thing that was happening with Trump and everything else that's been going on around all that, the reason this is all set up so that we can be freed as humanity. And the monster's rearing its ugly head, trying to force its agenda onto people, except it doesn't work out so well sometimes. I'm not going to click on any of the links. I'm not going to read any of them. This is just a simple search to see what is out there from a mainstream headline. Just the headlines. Target removed its Pride, some, not all, some Pride merchandise after whatever the crap that is, threats against the staff. Look, I don't care if you're in that group. I don't want you watching my show if you are. Go on. Okay? This isn't somewhere your feelings will get hurt here. Target removes some of the merchandise from the stores ahead of June Pride Month. They have to have a month. Threats to workers. They're not threats to workers. Look, people are just threats to what? Their paychecks going away because they're going to have to fire people because people aren't going to put up with that? Y'all, they went and made kids clothing for this stuff. There's a major line that was crossed for a lot of moms out there. Even if they just don't get it or they're new, this will wake them up when they walk in and there's a space for you to tuck the members in and crap like that. Y'all get what I'm saying? Trying to be careful because the kids might be watching this. Y'all, they're actually taking stuff away. They're pulling stuff out because people said no. It's going to be a turn the corner, run back, whoops moment. It was a legit Satanist who was behind that. And I've said it many, many times. And I'm not going to stop saying it. Y'all need to prepare your hearts for what's going to be coming out. You'll need to start paying attention to what's happening. Target is a puppet. There are massive conglomerates behind them that control what they do, that tell them what to do and how to do it. It's that way with Starbucks. It's that way with Adidas. It's that way with just about every clothing line out there. Just about. Some of them are privately owned and don't adhere to these things. Most of the very high-end luxury brands, I mean like actual high-end luxury brands, are in control. There are some that aren't. All the way down to your Target, your Walmart. All of them. Every major store has some sort of control, and it's all through the banks. As the banks die, as we just showed you, the stupid United States is about to default on their debt. Telling y'all, crypto's the exit strategy. If you've been able to get gold, silver, great. You're not going to be able to get it for much longer. The vast majority of people will figure out how to get into cryptocurrency. There will be a lot of people burned because they don't know what they're doing. It's why I started my company. It's listed in the description of the video. Astra Blockchain Consulting. Check it out. I set it up to work with businesses initially, like business to business related stuff, work on different projects, help build things. Then realize I needed to set something up for everyday people because most of the time it's a simple, how do I do this? And a lot of the time with that, for what it's worth, it's set up just so that you can have a one-on-one conversation and know that you're going to click the right button. Even I've had people like, I've gotten this far, I don't know what to do next. And if it were me, I would pay someone to tell me what to do next. That way I didn't lose it all. That's invaluable. That's why I set it up. Check it out. It's worth it. I really appreciate those of you who have jumped on there and taken advantage of that. I just really want y'all to know it's there to help people. That's why it's there. So let's jump in, take a look at the charts today. We have a crazy dip today in Bitcoin, but the Dow's down. So is the NASDAQ and the SP 500. They're all gapping down. So is gold, so is silver. They're all manipulated. Bitcoin will decide when people recognize what's going on here, that will spike like crazy. So let's see. Divi has been up a little bit today, but it kind of got pushed down again yesterday. Let's see what it does. We've got, let's see, Ethereum is down. Everything is down. Axi's down. All of them are down. Matic is down. I just put that up there. Matic's down. Litecoin's even down pretty good bit. Okay. Y'all got to understand. Okay, so the Dixie's running, and that's why Bitcoin's down, I think. But that's just my personal opinion. They're going to push that dollar up, y'all. They're going to make it seem like it's good and all that fun stuff. You got banks that are down. Bank of America's down a little bit. I think Bank of America is going to collapse. I think that JP Morgan is going to collapse. Jamie Dimon was in a deposition, closed door deposition, about his dealings with certain individuals who didn't kill themselves. Put it that way. Anyways, let's run through. It looks like y'all have had an amazing conversation the whole time, and I'm got late for a meeting here already. So, Tom, what's going on, brother? Thanks for being part of the show. It's good to see you, man. We got Lithia. I do appreciate you being here. It's fantastic to see you. Gloria, it's good to see you. Thanks for being part of the show. We've got Bitcoin Trinity, man. What's up, brother? Thanks for being part of the show, dude. I appreciate it. You being here as always. Steven, what's going on, man? Appreciate you being part of the show. This is one of the reasons. Tom, you lost 317 Litecoin on your ledger. Ledger CEO said that it was a software problem in the article, but my coins are still locked on the chain, but I can't have access to them. Gotta love it, man. Dan Storm, what's up, brother? Haven't seen you in a little while. Hopefully you are doing well. It's been a little bit. Appreciate you being here, man. We got Manny in here. What's going on, brothers? Appreciate you being part of the show. As always, y'all always jump in here. It's a fantastic conversation the whole time. I love it. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Fantastic. Glad you made it, brother. Glad you made it. All right, y'all. You have a beautiful, blessed rest of the day. I will see you all later this week. Take it easy. Talk to you soon. Bye.